It's not live, right?
What?
This is live or no?
No, no, it's not live.
Okay.
I pre-record it. I will use the audio on the radio show and use the video on our YouTube channel.
Awesome. Cool, cool.
Hell yeah! Welcome back to PPR, my friend. It's always a huge honor. Last time we spoke about some historical records that you released back in the days, which was Beneath the Remain and Arise. But this time we're going to talk about the masterpiece you released with Soulfly in 2022. So how you felt about Totem? It's a really complex records. There's so much stuff in it, so much. The evolution of the band is amazing, but was it a huge challenge? Is it more easy now with time and experience to create something like that?
No, it never gets easy, but it's always exciting. It's like I see those. I see every time I make a record, there's an opportunity um to do two things: to experiment a little bit, and also continuing something that I've been doing for my whole life, you know? So it's like a combination of both. And I think Totem, on itself, to me, it's a very interesting record because the way we made it, it's almost like the past and the present together. There's a lot of old school stuff, but there's also a lot of um, real Soulfly type grooves that it is from right now. Um, and I think that's kind of cool. It's. I think it was the way I kind of. You never know where you want the record to go. Like I don't really have them mapped out that good. I'm not that smart.
So there's no
uh,
map like already
uh,
written that you did when you were a kid that you follow all
no,
your life.
I'm not that clever. I'm not that clever. But I kind of go with the flow, man, and especially this record, which was very unorthodox how because it was created during the pandemic. So I spent 6 months of just me and Zion, like kind of like Dark Throne, just two guys, like going at it, writing riffs, you know, filling in all the spots, creating the skeleton of the record. And then we took that to the studio, and then with Arthur, I made a real great bond with Arthur. Arthur is the very unorthodox producer. Is the furthest thing away from professional producer. He's kind of like my old high school buddy that I grew up listening to metal. I haven't seen him in 20 years, but we bumped on the street, and I'll be like, "Hey, you want to go make a Soulfly record with me?" You know. So we both love metal, and he was able to get stuff out of me that normally doesn't come out. I remember it was one point we needed a riff for a song, "Scouring the Vial," and he just gives me the guitar. It's like, all right, we need that. I want that 17-year-old Max killer riff, right? And then I grabbed the guitar, and right there it came out right there on the spot, and he almost lost his mind. Like, oh yeah, this is everything I wanted. This is why I do these records, and
Wow.
yeah, with when you have this kind of people feeling that this motivate for this record, it's like I don't say it's easy, but it's more like exciting, to get the record. And it really, we didn't follow the stuff that maybe other bands do, like no click tracks. We didn't use click tracks, so it's all live music. Everybody
Wow.
just live, and then if it speeds up, slows down, hey, that's how it is. That's how those great records of the 80s were made. And we follow the same procedure. So I think that there's a cool, almost like desperation element in Totem because of that way of recording.
I really felt like it was natural. So it's cool to hear that because you didn't force anything. And I think it's kind of problem for band at some point to force to recreate something they already done, and it's not working most of the time, because when you try to force things, nature is not like that. It have like to be like surf. You catch the wave. It's never the perfect wave, but you deal with that and you do the best of it. And that's what you did. And I think the result is amazing for that. And you mentioned it. You really find a balance, between the new Soulfly songs, the direction and the direction that the band went over all those years. But we find like what you did at the beginning, kind of back to the roots. It's beautiful
Mhm.
balance, and it's tough to achieve, but I think that, like you said, it's a state of mind. You have to be with the people that know the direction you want to go, but that have that chemistry. And I think with Arthur, that's what happened. You have that chemistry, and it was like two metal nerds getting together,
Oh,
trying to create something that they would love to hear when they were kids.
yeah, yeah, and I think like in the end, uh, the end result to me, there was some songs that I remembered. I think it was uh, um, the song Totem. I had I had one riff, and I had no idea where the song is gonna go. I was like, I look at out, just like, I don't know, man. Let's just keep let's just go. Can we? Can we? It's like jumping from a cliff. You
Yeah.
just jump. You're not thinking about how high it is or how cold the water is. You just jump, and you hope it's gonna be okay. Yeah. So it's kind of like blind faith a little bit, But um, maybe because I've been doing records for a long time, I kind of like have acquired a bit of knowledge and experience, and I also wanted to really explore the wild, savage side of Zion on drumming, because Zion is a very unique drummer.
Yeah.
And through the years, I can see he's maturing on every record, but it's still very much like a wild animal. It's all about the energy, it's, I was like, I even told him, like, don't, don't change that. Like, it's almost like me with my vocals. Like, I sing this way. I never took a vocal lessons. I think if I did, it will ruin it. It will ruin this thing. It's like, don't go there. So it's almost like the same to him. Like, don't try to be super technical. You have this huge gift of pure power energy
Yeah.
drumming that is just awesome, and especially when you see it live. And that I wanted to capture that. I think we got pretty close. I think there was a couple songs where I just told him, like, just go off, just fucking, like, end of a set, just and and I think we kept that in the track, and I think was
Wow.
uh it's so cool. You don't really hear that in metal anymore. You used to hear that in stuff like Entombed,
Mhm.
old Entombed had shit like that, and old Dismember and stuff like that, where in the middle of the song there'll be a fucking 30-second drum solo, then you go to another riff. Um, Slayer also used to do that. I think there's some stuff on Halloween. It's like the drum sounds like a motor.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're right.
it's fucking cool, man. I love that. I mean, that's what metal is to me. That's the freedom to just at one point of the song just go, fuck it, let's go, just go crazy on your drums, and we make the next part in. So there's a lot of cool stuff like that. I'm very happy with the side A of Totem. I think even on this tour, I think we're gonna try to play the whole side A first. I think it's very powerful. It's like song after song. It's
Yeah.
just like punching, like MMA fighting, and I think that's one of the things I want to do. And then the other thing, hopefully, we get to play Spirit Animal, which is 10 minutes long in the end of the set.
That would be
To me, that
crazy.
would have been cool. It would be crazy. I never done anything like that, and
And fans
think
love it.
I think it's cool. I think it's like
Yeah.
it's showing something that the fans haven't heard it yet. And I think we got an awesome guitar player in Mike DeLeon now that can really shred and do all that stuff, and we can go there, man. We can push this thing. We can definitely push the envelope and make the tour very exciting. We're gonna play all the old stuff, and I even try to find some obscure tracks, stuff like and I don't know, like some Dark Ages stuff, like Corrosion Creeps or
Wow.
um, Touching the Void. Like Bleak stuff that people are not expecting. Bring it, like stuff that people haven't really heard much. A lot of people has heard Primitive and Prophecy, and those are cool. Of course I have to still play them because those are big crowd songs, but I think also adding those deep cuts, as I call them. You gotta go find the deep cuts.
And it's
and
so cool
I,
that you understand that, and we spoke about that last time, really close to what fans want. And as a fans, take for example Iron Maiden. That's what I love when they do those tracks that you cannot hear. It's a kind of one time shot deal. On that tour we're gonna play that, but they never play it. And it's so cool for the diehard fans to hear that. And most of the crowd are diehard fans, are people that following you for many years. And I love Back to
mhm.
Primitive. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I heard that many times when I saw you. So if there's another songs obscure and then Back to Primitive, it's winning. It's a win-win for everybody. People for the first time and the old school fans. It's not every band that realized that, but yeah, it's so cool. And it's like you said, you have such musicians that when we hear the first riff they do, we know it's them. And I think that the best musician, you knew it's them. You have one of the greatest drummer. Lombardo is like that. Every when he drum for the Misfit, I'm listening to a live show. Like the way he play, I know it's fucking Lombardo. It's
Right.
he have his signature, and that's what Soulfly is all about. All people that have their own signature, and it's tough to achieve that.
Yeah, and we have a chance now because we have now 12 records. And there's a lot of fucking music. There's a lot of
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
Uh,
big catalog.
I gonna be honest. I don't listen to my own stuff that much. On my free time, I listen to other people's music. I'm a huge metal fan. I'm a total metal nerd. I love the underground. I'm searching for bands. You know, and so yeah, I don't really go and listen to my own stuff. But a couple times I had to do that by just by circumstance. It was
Yeah.
like the Beneath the Remains, Arise. So I had to go back and dissect those records. And it was cool. And I was like, damn, there is some really cool stuff here, man, that I forgot that I even did that when I was 19, 20, 21 years old. And it's the same with Soulfly. I think I can go back to some of the records, and it's funny talking to musicians too, because like even like Mike, Mike is telling me, uh, we were talking and out of the blue, um, he goes, I love the song Enter Fate from Soulfly 3. I have never talked to another musician that likes that song, So I was like, really, you like that? Like it's an obscure song I didn't play that much, but it's cool. Like people have different stuff that touch them in different ways, and that's what makes, I think, this tour's exciting, that we have the opportunity to do that. Apart from the fact that it's a huge monstrosity of a tour, 57 shows. I don't think I've done a tour like that in a long time. When I saw the list, I was like, are you fucking shitting me? This is crazy. This is crazy. Like on the shirt, the back of the t-shirt is the whole back. There's no
It's
room. There's no room. There's just dates.
I have a system of down shirts, and there's 3 dates. They did like 3 show that
Yeah,
years.
we
And
need
months
we need to print the dates on the front and the back.
yeah. With Soulfly, it's totally the opposite. Like the old shirt, it's date.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. The shirts, the dates in the front and the back. Um, but yeah, I mean, I love it, man. I think we did some touring like that back in the Arise days, and that's what reminds me of it. Because Gloria was our manager in the Arise days, and she planned those tours, and she's planning this one. So I totally, yeah, that's the way her brain thinks. It's like very old school kind of band. Um, Psychology where
Yeah.
you got to play everywhere, you know so you don't really depend on TV or radio. No, you got to go to where the people are. You have to go to every little city and play small places. We play some 200, 300
Wow.
capacity venues, which I love it, man. I think those are the more fire shows, the most fun shows are those where I know somebody's gonna he's gonna land on my pedals at some point of the night, and I know somebody's gonna spill beer on my hair, and it's all good. It's what I love it. It's like you can smell the punk rock in the air,
And it's
and
get it back to
those
the
are the great
start
shows.
in a way. It gets you back to the start when you started up, with Sepultura, like the
Right?
first tour where you built something, with shows. And that's amazing because you mentioned it. You never have the exposure of radio or mainstream. All you did was working and fighting for music, and not just for the band but for metal. And now it's so cool that you are able to still do it, but it
Yeah,
in your own turf. And with it's so different. It's way more easy to tour now, and it's less tough because you don't have to deal with shitty bookers and not getting paid, or people
yeah,
like fighting. And people have respect. We grow up, the metal scene is amazing. People, they spend money on merch. They know the importance of the scene. And with 2 years of pandemic, it's incredible to see that Soulfly is more healthy and more alive than ever. So
yeah,
congrats on
yeah,
that, and good luck.
yeah. And to me, it's a bit sometimes it's a bit bizarre situation because I've been doing it for so long, that some people might think, oh, he doesn't want to go play in front of 200 people. Like, you wrong, man. I fucking love that shit. If you want, I mean, to me, that's where you really get to taste the band. That's when you really experience the fury, the power. Um, don't get me wrong, the big shows are great, but they lack that personal thing
Yeah.
that you had when you do those small shows. It's personal. It's you and 200 people that are entirely totally connected through the music. Every single person there. And I've done some festivals where there'll be 50,000 people, and a lot of them couldn't care less about what they're watching. They're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. What time is this guy's done? Like,
when
taking
when are you
for
gonna shut up, damn it?
yeah, it's taking forever, man. Where's ZZ Top? What time's ZZ Top going on?
I just
But
came for ZZ Top. I don't care about anyone else.
exactly.
But
So because of that, I think I love this game, and I'm a total road dog. I love the whole thing. Some of my best memories in life were created in the road. Either be punk rock shit like hanging out with Dimebag, drinking till we puke, pass out, or puking on Eddie Vedder. Like those
did
are
you
true
did you
tour shit that
did
happen.
you really puke on Eddie Vedder?
Yeah, yeah. It's on the ministry tour, man.
Ah, my God!
So
Wow.
touring is great. You create so many cool
Yeah.
memories. I have like memories of my kids being when they were little, 1 year or 2 year old, sleeping on guitar cases with Ozzy on the singing in the
Wow.
background, and just the beginning of Soulfly, where we play with a lot of was cool. We play with Neurosis, we play with System of a Down, we play with a lot of Head PE and Snot. It was kind of like that bridge between new metal and whatever was happening at that time. We got lumped into that, and so a lot of those Ozfest was just a crazy circus. I have great memories of that. I still love it. I love going on tour because I know I'm going to create more friendships like that. I love the fact that Soulfly always puts underground bands on the bill.
Yeah,
Young newcomers. We never stop doing that.
and that's why you help forging the new scene, and there's a lot of band coming up and a lot of band that got more exposure of that. And if band don't do that and it's always the same name,
Right.
when band gonna leave, it's gonna just fall apart. And I think that's why it's so strong, because people like you give a chance to another one. It changed their
They
life.
were we were given a chance in the beginning, and those there was people like Pantera that took Sepultura on tour, and Ozzy and Ministry,
Crazy.
and then we did some of our own tours with Napalm Death and Sick of It All and Obituary. And yeah, like so I love that. I love that we still connected. I'm still connected to a lot of the young, new underground stuff. Last year we took 200 Stab Wounds before they became. Now that a lot of people are talking about them, and I feel really proud about that, because I remember when we took them, nobody knew who they were, and it was like I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Old school death metal. I totally dig this band, and now to see they doing all the much other tours and they're getting more popular. Yeah, on this tour we have Body Box. I think is gonna be great, and Skin Flint that's from South Africa, and some other bands have heard voices also from Flagstaff. And yeah, man, it's all about the community.
Yeah.
I'm a believer of community metal in metal. Like, I refuse to be one of those guys that give into politics and take all the fun away from metal. Like, let's the world is full of stuff that's ruined by society.
Yeah.
Let's not ruin metal. Let's keep metal one sacred thing that we can have it, that is good and pure, and so um that's why we do our this kind of tours, and I love it. I think it's great. I think it's awesome, and people love it. And we're doing I think we're even talking about doing meet and greets, and we get to meet some fans after the show. And uh yeah, awesome, man. It's just so fun. I love the everything from playing the shows, which of course is the best thing, the best part of the day, but I also like the downtime, watching stupid movies and videos with your band guys in the tour bus, passing the time. It's really fun too. It's like, it's cool. Talking with the other guys, telling tour stories. I was like campfire stories without the
Yeah.
the campfire. But
It's so
here
cool.
it's like, we especially now that we got the chance to bring other people with us, like we did with Dino. And Dino Cazares was, because he's a storyteller by nature, right? So almost like every night it was like, so let's sit down with the front lounge with Dino and let's hear some metal stories. And he has a lot of them, man. He has a lot of good stories. Yeah, so I love that. I love the traveling, the cities, and this is a good one. This is a 9 week, 57, not much day off. This is like grinding.
Yeah.
This is like the real grinder. Um, puts you to a test. It makes you a better man.
It's true. It's
Makes you
true.
hard. Makes you hard.
We're getting older, but we're still
Yeah.
hard. But
Oh hell
you're right.
yeah.
it's so cool that you understand that. And there's so much musician that got caught in the loop of it's a job and don't seeing like the good side of it. Like you mentioned, like you appreciate everything because you remember as a kid that it was your fucking dream. That's what you wanted, and now you have it. And you have other dreams that you can accomplish with that. You're proud to be there, and that's so cool. And the fan realize it, and I think that's why fans of your music is so like deep connect, because it's a family thing. And even me, man, I felt I'm part of that family. And it's so beautiful at the end. And it's sad when musicians, no, no, we don't speak to fans, we don't want to meet them. It's just like, okay, it's your choice, I respect that, but I'm all in with your mentality and the way you do it. And we saw, because you speak a lot about punk rock. You and I share the same love for metal and punk. And I saw a picture with Fat Mike.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. That was, yeah. He's always been cool to me. He's always been very, just very, very, very nice and very excited whenever he sees me. Um, maybe he's a closet fan of Sepultura stuff that I don't ask him about that. I
I'm
don't know that.
surprised because I have an interview with him and I spoke about him with metal, and you say, oh, I don't like metal. And I'm like, I heard like there's Luca Turelli mentioned like Lagwagon and NoFX. He was a huge fan, and he said, oh, I don't know Rhapsody. And I'm like, you kidding me? And then,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's Fat Mike. He loved to play with people, so maybe play with me. I'm sure you know more metal than
Yeah.
what he say.
Yeah. And for me, because yeah, like I grew up with a lot of metal and punk, a lot of just listening to a lot of Dead Kennedys and Black Flag and uh Bad Brains, and then of course European stuff. Discharge is one of my top favorite bands of all time. Yeah, whenever I have yeah, and I think that's what's cool is what we picked up from punk was actually attitudes, way of life, that I think sometimes in metal becomes, maybe some bands lose it with rock star shit, with rock star mentality, where in the punk there's none of that, it's all fucking, they're just like they just love what they do, and it's like a free spirit kind of mentality. So I kind of picked that up more from punk. And also, even the way we play, like, I don't care much about trying to play perfect. We're not robots, right? We're not. I'm not a robot, and I would not play perfect. I would try to play as good as I can. I would definitely make a huge effort. Uh, but if I fuck up, that's life. And I try to teach that to Zion, to my kid. Like, if you fuck up, don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
There's tomorrow is another show. It's kind of like a sports guy. It's like you throw interception, like, don't worry, there's another game. You're always gonna be another game. And that's kind of like, but it's important that you have fun with this.
Yeah.
Because I think my music is deep rooted in two things: it's anger and fun together, which is a weird mix. They shouldn't really mix, but they do.
What Max is saying is anger can be fun.
Exactly. So sometimes I'm singing, I see the world old, I see the world dead, but I'm really having a lot of fun saying that shit. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really having just a great fun. So yeah, I mean, it's like the combination of both. But yeah, I think the definitely the anger side is always there. Play fast also. I love playing fast. And there's a lot of fast shit on Totem. That's like Superstition and Scarring the Vile, Rotting Pain. Those are all killer. A lot of fast D beats and stuff like that. So looking forward to that, man. Looking forward to play those. I think that I don't know what else we're doing. I think we have a festival in Vegas, Sick New World or something.
Yeah, the lineup is amazing.
Yeah, I saw Sister of Mercy killing jokes. Like, are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
fucking killing joke, man.
I know. I was like, yes, I gotta go see Sisters of Mercy, man. Like I grew up worshiping that. So that would be cool. And a couple of I think we're doing some festivals in in the summer in Europe as well. So that should be cool. So I don't really plan the year that much. I just know that we have this tour right now, and we'll see what happens afterwards. But I'm always up for it and always ready to battle,
A
ready to
warrior.
ready for war, man.
War of metal. We're gonna wait for you, of course, in Canada, in Quebec. There's a love
I
affair
know. I
between
gotta go.
Soulfly.
I gotta come back to Canada. It's been too long.
Yeah, yeah. Last time I think it was the Rock Fest, if I'm right, with Soulfly.
Yeah, I think so. I think especially Quebec. Um, you know, I love Canada. Some great shows there always. Um, I think we did a nail bomb tour where we did 17
Yeah, you're right.
shows.
Yeah,
We
after
played
that.
we played Thunder Bay and wow, it was
But
so many
when you say you
cities.
don't pick up the map, Thunder Bay is a good example. Like most of the band, fuck is in Thunder Bay. Oh, go.
Thunder
There's people. It's cool.
Bay. So when I heard there was a city called Thunder Bay, I almost lost my mind. I was like, that is the most metal name ever. Like
And there
the,
was any lightning during the time you were
uh,
there?
I was trying to picture the explorer guy that founded Thunder Bay, and he's a metal head. He's got long hair, long beard. I found this city, Thunder Bay. And it shall be a metal city. It's cool, man. Canada is great. Canada is awesome. When hopefully we get to come back this year for
We're gonna
sure.
wait for you for sure. Max, thank you so much. You've always been generous, man, with me and the radio show, and we appreciate it. I must admit, I told you that. I'm a huge Soulfly fans. What I'm looking for is that. I've got that back in the days. They
Oh wow,
give that.
yeah.
There was like
First,
a garbage with writing Soulfly at HMV, and it was free cassette in the garbage like box.
wow,
Pick up your
nice.
cassette. Still got it.
Yeah,
There was
well,
eye for an eye
that's
on,
it.
and that's it.
That's perfect. That's awesome, man. And that's it. That's 25 years this year.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. It's wrote like Max is back. Like that's so
25,
cool.
25 years ago, I'm still doing this shit.
Can you believe it? Like, I'm sure when you started up, you were kind of pissed what happened with Sepultura. You start Soulfly, things go fast. And then 25 years later, yeah, cool, man. That was not
Yeah,
that bad after all.
yeah, exactly. I think life teaches patience, and you just gotta let things be what they are, and yeah, you accept them, and eventually, uh, it's not how you plan it, but that's life,
Yeah.
Like you can't plan life. You can
No.
try,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's gonna go exactly how you plan, and that's part of what makes it cool because you had all these curves and you know the hard times and I think that stuff actually it's good because it builds character,
Yeah.
because it's easy to be be the big man when you're on top, like when you're popular and you're on top, but to be a positive person when you're struggling, like that's the tough one. And I think it was like to me it was a lesson in humility I went through after Sepultura. Sepultura was getting pretty big at that time, and I had to go back to Soulfly and start over again. And I'm still picking the pieces. And hey man, I don't complain. I don't complain. In the end of the day, I love what I do. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Um, Yeah, fucking, it's been an amazing journey, man. Amazing journey.
Congrats. You deserve it. We're going to wait for you in Canada. People, of course, go grab the new album Totem on Nuclear Blast Records.
Yes.
And man, go see them, catch them live, buy merch. And yeah, man, thank you so much,
I
Max,
think
for the friendship.
awesome, man. And I hope I'll see you in Canada, brother.
We will, of course, man. I'm going to be there, shake hand, and drink something, a coffee, whatever you drink.
All right. Take care, my man.
Cheers. Bye bye, Max.
All the best. Yep.
Bye.